This episode of After Dark is brought to you by Audible. For a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook, head on over to audible.com/Gamebreaker.
Gamebreaker TV.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to After Dark, the live call-in show where you guys make it possible by calling in live and asking your questions about whatever the heck you want to talk about. That's why we're here, so let's just get right to it. So you guys know him from Gamebreaker, freetoplay.tv, XIV, that game, and so much more. Mr. Mike Byrne.
Howdy, sir. How are you? Check it out. I'm a fork in a garbage disposal.
Well, if you're gonna do that, you gotta go ding, 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 ding. Come on, do it with me. Let's do the fork in the garbage disposal. Ding, 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 ding.
All right.
I have a feeling this is gonna be the theme of tonight's episode.
Yes. Now that we've totally emasculated ourselves, let's get down to it.
Oh, yes. All right, let's do this. Let's open up the lines and get this call, get this show started. Caller, you're on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from. Tell us your question.
Well, that's calculated quickly.
Yes, it has.
So, hello, Mike Byrne. This is Mohammed from Saudi Arabia.
Welcome. Thank you, sir. Thank you for saying hello.
It's good to see you here in the show tonight. I was going to call in last week, but I didn't really. I was half awake, kind of sleepy.
That's all right,
I think we did it on an odd hour. I think we did it like Thursday at what, after dusk.
Yeah, it was like after dark at noon.
Yeah, makes sense, right? You know, how's it going, Mohammed?
It's been great, except that I don't like you anymore, Mike Schaffner.
Why is that? Do I want to know?
You don't want to know. Trust me.
Oh, okay.
It's for your own good.
You just don't like me. All right, fair enough. I'm sad now. What do you got?
I don't like you because you are Alliance. I'm hot.
I am Alliance. I had a lot. I ticked off a lot of people when they all wanted me to jump on and run around the Timeless Isles with them today, and it's like, sorry, can't. You're Horde. I'm Alliance. I'll come kill you, but that's about it.
It's been a while.
You can't kill me,
but I
on
too am Alliance.
It's a Mike thing. That's what it is. All Mikes are Alliance. Internet fact.
Okay.
What do you got for us, Mohammed? What's your question?
So my question is still about Diablo. And please don't give me the same answer as the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Alright, so the console version has just came out about last week, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things in the console version that are very awesome that they did not really tell us about. They did not announce on the console. Like the Paragon levels is account-wide in the console, which is something they just announced in Gamescom. And legendaries will scale on your level for your level in the console, which is something they just also announced in Gamescom. And the jobs in the console are depending on your class. So if you're a barbarian, you'll find a lot of strength gear, etc. But the PC players will have to wait until Blizzcon is over to get a patch to fix their game.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the thing they already did on the console. And the thing is, should Blizzard fix the console version, fix the PC version faster? Should they release a patch already for the PC since they already did for the console?
I think it's kind of tough to say, you know, where the line should be drawn. Should they fix, you know, the PC version? Because your fixes that the console has are implying of the features that they're adding. And I think that the problem is obviously those features they feel are valuable for kind of, I think the expansion is when you're talking about they're going to release them. If not the expansion, maybe a much larger patch. Maybe it's not something that's just so simple that they can add. They want to hold these features possibly so that they can integrate them into the expansion.
Yeah, but the thing is, on the PC version, to get a good job, you will have to play for about a year or 3 months. But in the console version, I've only played for like 3 hours in Inferno, and I've already outspeed my character on the PC, which I've spent about a year and a half playing it. That's just wow. I never used the Action House on the PC or anything. I've been playing self-found since day one. So in the console, 3 hours, outspeed a character that I worked on for a year. I mean, that's just, I don't know.
Burn, you haven't probably played much Diablo, have you? If I recall correctly.
No, I enjoyed Diablo. It's just not a release day buy for me anymore. And I do enjoy Diablo 3. I'm kind of like past the ARPGs. You know, I will play them just to see what one does new. Like I do enjoy Torchlight 2. I do enjoy Diablo 3. They're just not. I gotta have them and play them. Though I'll play them when I have some time, and I'll pick them up when I have some time. I'm gonna keep this short, Mohammed, because I feel bad that you feel you got the same answer 2 weeks in a row. You got the shaft.
I see what you did there, because my last name right there is Shaftnit. Right. Take off the knit.
And his answer was very insightful and talked about some key differences. I'm gonna say yes. Fix the frickin' PC version first. There you go.
I will burn my yellow dress if they don't fix the PC version.
But what's so? But before we switch gears here, what's so broken? I mean, I guess you're talking about the experience of the leveling difference and how you've kind of already caught up with the console version. What to you is so broken about the PC that needs to be adjusted right now?
Oh, no. I wasn't ready for a follow up. Well, wait a minute.
I meant Muhammad. I'm asking Muhammad. I'm asking Muhammad.
Oh yeah, put him under the gun.
What's so broken that you want things to be fixed right now, Muhammad?
Well, on the PC version, you can't find a good job unless you use the Action House. But finding a good job will take you months, sometimes. Yeah, months. It'll take you months. Like when I played on the PC, I found a sword on Nightmare, and I've been using that sword in Nightmare until Inferno. But on the console, everything you found is good. 90% of the loot you found is for your class. 90%
why is that
good?
But why is that a broken philosophy? I mean, that to me honestly sounds like they're trying to structure and cater a little bit more to the casual market that is the console market, because I feel like the PC players, the PC purists who played originally don't. I mean, yeah, Gary would say the feel-good slot machine. Everybody wants to have the good gear, but the whole purpose of that game was grinding for hours to get that really special random drop.
Yeah.
And that's what I think was encapsulated in the PC version.
Yeah, the game is about the grinding, but on the PC, I saw a streamer the other day who has just spent like $3 and he made a very good character with only $3. So the game is pretty much pay to win in the PC. You go to the Real Money Action House, $3 you can now beat Inferno in blindfold. You can beat Inferno blindfold with only $3. That's how it is in the PC.
You're more just kind of, it sounds like you're more upset by the fact that people on the Real Money Auction House have the ability to simply just come out and buy the gear so that they can get through the hardest difficulty. That's kind of what it sounds like your concern is the Real Money Auction House.
Yeah, the Real Money Action House and their Action House itself. Because right now, if I go to Diablo and search for something, I will find an upgrade immediately in the Action House, which will cost me some few bucks or maybe a few gold.
But isn't that bound to happen within the console version? I mean, potentially. I haven't played Diablo in many, many months, so I could be wrong. But I feel like that could be because of the PC's age. There's been so many people grinding out gear. There's so much gear now on the auction house. the console version is a little bit different because it's new. There aren't thousands of people dumping their excess unwanted gear onto the auction house, so it's a little the market value of the two are completely different there, which is why you're seeing the difference.
Yeah, but also there's a problem with the PC version with the PC. The crafting is kind of a little overpriced because if you want to make the best gems, you have to use the action house to make them. Like the best gem costs you about 4 million gold. In the console, it will cost you 4,000 gold. And farming 4 million gold on the PC will take you some time. Also, farming the recipe itself for the gem will take you some time. But in the console, you will find it in like very easy. You'll find it in like an hour or two. That's how I got it. But on the PC, I never found the plans to make the best gem in the game. I've been playing for a year. I never found them. That's the problem.
I guess just to wrap this up though, this is, and I hear what you're saying. They've changed this. These are statistical patch notes that they've come out and said these are changes that we've added to the console version that are indeed coming to the PC version down the road. They've come out and said that?
No, they did not say anything about the crafting, that if they are going to reduce the crafting cost for the PC. They only said that it's for the console at the moment. I'm not sure if they are going to make it for the PC or not. But that is a huge problem for me because I don't want to spend real money to be able to play the game that I already bought. That's the thing. So
there is no even confirmation that the problem that you're having is going to go away in the new expansion or down the, you said that these changes are going to be coming to PC players in a couple months after BlizzCon, I think you said. There is no set in stone hope in sight for PC players, is there?
No, there isn't. But can you say it again? I did not hear you well.
That's fine. I mean, I hear what you're saying. I think it's a little bit of a difficult situation, just specifically because, as you said, you know, you've come to kind of see something in the way you don't like the buy to play kind of scenario, and that is a really tough situation. I think that I don't want to come out and say that PC should indefinitely be easier simply because the console version is easier. I feel like the official statement from Blizzard might be more in the direction of if you want to play the easier version, play the console version. It'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting. I think what I want to see the systems that come in place is when Reaper of Souls come out. All right, let's go ahead and switch gears here and move on and take another caller. Caller, you're on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name, tell us where you're from, tell us your question.
Hey, bitch. You know me. My name is James Precious from the House of Precious.
Looks like this one's all you too, brother. I'm just gonna sit back. The answer to Muhammad's question was yes.
Sit down, Mike Byrne. You don't have
fine.
this.
Wait. You're telling me the answer to Muhammad's question was yes?
I already said the answer was yes.
I don't have it queued. I didn't have it queued. I wasn't ready.
I'm gonna sit back and watch this one too.
Hey, Kiggles.
The pink flamingo fucking Gucci, bitches. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, the callers we get on After Dark.
Oh, you love me, please. All right. So.
I do gotta say, I'm really happy that you put me back in touch with a childhood video that I haven't seen in years when you mentioned it.
Mm-hmm. I know. You love me. It's okay. Just say it.
Oh, it's not. It's muted.
Disposal. Stop! I lost my contact. Found it.
Oh, you don't
What's
understand
up, Pickles?
The amount of times I have done fork in the garbage disposal at a bar at 1:30.
Trust me, no, I think I understand completely.
Oh.
What's up, man?
I don't know. I think I forgot my question. I was about to come on here and talk about World of Warcraft, Mike Byrne's favorite topic.
Of course, you can tell he's already ready for it.
I was about to come on here and, put Blizzard on blast because I really don't feel like Garrosh is, the end boss that we deserve or need, okay?
Okay.
But then I was told to wait for the fight, so I'm waiting for the fight to pass judgment. I just feel like the raid content in this expansion has been so all over the place. Because it's basically the theme is Titans, right? Is Titans.
It was all over the place in Wrath of the Lich King. If you think about it.
What are you talking about, girl? No, what you talking about?
Yes, it was. It was all over the place because I remember during Wrath of the Lich King, they were like, "Hey, you're gonna go kill Yogg Saron. He's an old god." And I was like, "Wait, who? What is this?" And then at Argent Tournament, the Argent Tournament kind of turned around and linked back with the whole underground theme and the Anubarak fight. But really, I don't know. To me personally, Wrath of the Lich King was all over the place as well. Burning Crusade did it right.
Lich King was all over the place. I don't know about you. I was seeing Arthas left and right. Oh, hey, Arthas.
You said raiding
girl.
content. You said raiding content.
Yeah, okay. So what was the first raid of Lich King? Naxxramas.
Yeah, and so was Obsidian Sanctum, and so was Malygos.
And then it was Ulduar.
Ulduar was such a...
Well, Ulduar was... add-on shit, okay? One boss. Oh, okay.
So what's your question, Giggles? You were going to put them on blast, but...
But I was told to wait for the fight, so I'm waiting for the fight to pass judgment. Now, do you feel like this is a filler expansion? And if so, can I have my money back?
Hey, Burn, what do you think?
Hold on, I'm catching up to you guys real quick here. Read the back of this.
You got it? They're pandas, okay, yeah. Mike Burn. They're pandas.
This was the pandas bullshit. Okay. What was the question?
Is this a filler expansion? And where's my goddamn money back?
It's definitely a filler expansion. It's definitely a filler expansion, at least in my opinion. I loved Wrath of the Lich King. I was lukewarm on Cataclysm, and late Cataclysm I grew colder, like a lot of people. I was okay with the whole pandas thing. I got the lore and really didn't have a problem with that. And it was time for something new, race-wise anyway. So I was okay with it, even though it wasn't my favorite thing. When it became an expansion of dailies for me, that's pretty much when I was out. And that was right around, I don't know, launch? Okay, that's mean. That's mean. Right around Mogushan Vault launching. And that whole thing, that's when I backed out because it just felt like busy work until the next expansion. I'm with you, Giggles.
Okay, but what is I understand that, but what is the problem with dailies? There's always this resentment towards, the beginning of an expansion. There's always this upfront. You need to have. I always think of it like this: the beginning of an expansion in WoW for me is I put my time up front, I do all my dailies. And then you can just coast at the end. Whereas all these people bitching about it. No, really. I mean, I don't have to do shit. I've done all of my stuff on all of my tunes. It's what is it? I don't know what I'm, whatever.
No, you're fine. It's
I just don't get I do not get the bitching about the daily. That's probably because I have more time than anyone else, but
to me it's not a matter of time. I mean, I work from home from my day job, and then I work in the same area of my home for my night job with this stuff. I got plenty of time to duck in and out of things and knock out a couple of dailies. To me, repetitive content is not good design, and that's coming from, I don't design games, but I design software, and so repetition of things like that in any software design is just bad design to me. Is it something that we may have to deal with to small extents or big extents in MMO content churning environments? Yeah, you're going to have some elements of that. To me, Pandaria seemed like that was the content, where once you hit the level cap, it was raid until you're locked out, and then grind your dailies for the rest of the week. The same things over and over again. And to me, that was just kind of bad design. Again, 7-8 million people can't be wrong. It's just my opinion. But to me, it's dailies deserve the negative connotation, especially when they're in mass amounts of dailies.
And I think that they're looking to address and fix that with the direction that they've taken in the Timeless Isles.
Yeah. And I'll come back. I'm going to come back in 5.4 to check it out a little bit, and I'll come back in the expansion. I'm a fair weather World of Warcrafter, and if they can tweak some things, I'll keep playing.
Here's what I would have to say though, Kiggles, because you talked about how it's a filler expansion. It feels like a filler expansion. Are you talking about the philosophy behind it or the mechanics implemented into it?
Because philosophy behind it. I'm talking about.
But if you're talking about the, go ahead.
I'm talking about lore-wise. That's
exactly what it's supposed to be, though.
The big picture. Well, whatever.
They said that at BlizzCon.
And then people bitch that, oh no, there's not going to be a big end boss, and then they're like, oh well, okay, it's going to be Garrosh. So it's felt so anticlimactic. Oh, Garrosh, all right, so we're gonna. It was okay. So here's like, because I see what you're saying. It was a pigeonhole that they put themselves into though, because they wanted it to be a filler expansion. They at BlizzCon when they first announced it, they had kind of set it up with the direction of this is a break from the big end boss. This is a chance for you to explore and bring back the mystery and exploration to a game and just kind of be at a slower pace. That was what they were saying. There was a huge outrage and backlash, except things are coming out faster than ever.
Slower pace in terms of the story. Again, you're talking mechanically. I'm talking philosophically. It was supposed to be an expansion to where I think they were trying to flesh out and add new storylines, introduce new characters to increase the life of World of Warcraft so that it can can go beyond Sargeras. And while I think that was their philosophy, I think that what do you say?
Koala bears is going to bring life back to the WoW, the deadness that is WoW.
I think here's the thing is I think that their hearts were in the right place. I see what they were trying to do, but I don't think it worked out. I don't think that it filled out. I don't feel like I'm walking away from Mist of Pandaria with any other figurehead outside of Wrathion that could cause a problem or be an intricate part of another expansion. So if that was the direction that they were trying to take with it, I think that they've kind of fallen a little bit short.
Right? With PvP, wasn't that all supposed to be balanced? And I've done less PvP this expansion than I did in the 3 previous expansions.
Gary,
wasn't this supposed to be some big new PvP renaissance?
Potentially.
Yeah, they did a real good job on that. Good job, Blizzard. Way to go.
Hey, Kiggles.
What's up?
What's your calendar looking like for about the next 40 minutes?
My calendar looking like for like next 40?
Yeah, well, are you free for about 40 minutes?
I'm sipping on this box of wine right here, so I'm.
Oh, you got a box of wine.
You want me to be.
Kiggles, can we keep you on with us?
That's the number 1 criteria for being on After Dark is you have to drink. So you've already passed that.
That's what Gary taught me. That's the one thing I learned from Gary. You just got to drink.
All right. Well, I guess in the meantime, then we're gonna switch callers. We're gonna add another caller because we're down from executive producer Gary Gannon. You're gonna hang with us for the rest of the show. So let's hang out. Let's talk. Let's see how this goes. In the meantime, while we get another caller on, I'm gonna take this over.
Biggest mess in the world.
I'm gonna take this over to a Twitter question. Brosif Stalin as GB After Dark name of pre-show songs. We see this a lot. We see this a lot in chat room, and that's why I actually picked this question. This way, this video comes out and it clarifies for all of you guys. It's really, really simple. You want to know what we do? We go to YouTube and we type dubstep long, and then we just click a video that we find. Or we go to the Going Quantum podcast. So if you want to hear all of your favorite pre-show beats, well, it's really simple. All you guys got to do is head on over to YouTube and type in dubstep. Pretty simple.
Are they paying for this?
At least my beats.
I was just about to say YouTube, official sponsor of Gamebreaker TV.
That's true. I'm not trying to we use them as a player, and I don't know how else to get around it. That's how we find our music.
Is this the new test for Netflix?
Yeah.
Are you trying to make Netflix all scared?
The Netflix better up their game, or we're gonna start sending some of those subs over to YouTube.
Snap. Give me that money, honey.
All right, let's get another caller on the line. But before we do, I also want to tell you guys about a sponsor. Since we're talking about awesome sponsors, not awesome, but sponsors. Audible.com is a great service that has audiobooks available for download right now. And I know what you guys are thinking. Well, you know, I read books in high school. Books aren't going to have anything awesome for me to listen to. Wrong. They are. Books are great, and they've even got video game related topics. Lord of the Rings, obviously, of course, The Hobbit. Not so great movie that just came out. Instead of going to see the Hobbit movie, why don't you just download the audiobook and save yourself a world of trouble? But they've also got a whole bunch of World of Warcraft books. We were just talking about World of Warcraft, specifically 5.4, and there's obviously a whole bunch of stuff going on with Vol'jin and Garrosh. Garrosh obviously tried to assassinate Vol'jin, and this book right here goes into some of the detail of what kind of Vol'jin did shortly after. So if you guys want to check it out, it's a brand new book that came out about 2-3 months ago, and yeah, sorry, got confused, got lost my train of thought. Came out about 2-3 months ago and is available for download right now on Audible. And for a free 30-day trial, if you guys want to try out and start listening today, you guys can head over to audible.com/Gamebreaker. So head on over and do so right now. Yes, Kegels.
Do you like Vol'jin? Who do you want to be the next war chief? I was told that it's already been
if you spoil this, if you don't even, I've been avoiding everything I can lore-wise about Siege of Orgrimmar.
Snape!
No! Okay. I was about to throw this guitar pick at the camera and hope that it hits you in the face. Who do I hope is the new war chief? I don't really know, mostly because I play Alliance and I don't know enough about what's going on, Horde faction leaders and whatnot. So I don't have a in-depth good lore opinion on who should take over as war chief.
Sylvanas.
Sylvanas would not make a good
That's
war
right.
chief.
Rule one of anime and MMOs is boobs.
That's true. She does
Is
win by
the
default
rule.
there. All right. Do we have another caller on the line? I'm not sure.
Yes.
There it is. All right.
How's it going?
Guys? Good.
Kerry from Moreno Valley again.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Were you the guy who called in? I believe a little buzzed last time, if I'm not mistaken, off sake.
Yes.
Sake.
Far too buzzed. I'm never gonna call in that far gone ever again. Actually, I was gonna say that you both are playing the wrong faction, both of you, right now.
They are.
Okay, just gonna
Let me
put
put
that
it.
out there.
I realize I'm playing the wrong faction when I go to the Timeless Isles and it's literally a sea of red and then one other green person in my area, because all it takes is just me to hit one person in the wrong way and then I've got a whole storm of people descending on top of me. So trust me, I'm on the wrong faction, but I will not change. Damn it.
Now you know how Zista feels normally.
Second thing I wanted to get to, I know somebody had actually told you about the second High School of the Dead season
Yes.
that's coming out. I don't know if you've checked out Attack on Titan. If you haven't, you need to.
I've been told this by so many people, and I know that I need to. I just need to find the time to sit down. I've heard so many good things.
It is ridiculous. It is crazy amazing. It is like nearly manga perfect. It's pretty awesome.
I've got to find time to watch that. Trust me, I know. But yes, I want to find time to watch that. Well, how's it going though? What's your question for us tonight?
All right, my question for you guys. I actually have been wondering about this for a little while. Now, I had just gotten done playing the Walking Dead game, not the new one that just came out, not the Telltales, but you know, the older version of it, the one with Lee as the main character, and. Right. I was just kind of going through the motions. I'm like, okay, this is awesome. I'm playing as a black guy, the main character, and he's not acting like Coltrane from Gears of War.
Yes.
And And I don't know. What do you think I'm sorry, I'm not phrasing this well. Where do you think we will start to see progression on the front of non-Caucasian protagonists in video games? And not just like as far as quantity, but also like how they're portrayed as well. Like I said, Coltrane from Gears of War, that's not every black guy.
Right.
You know, Connor from Assassin's Creed 3, not every Native American acts like that.
So when will we see just a normal influence of minorities playing a key role, but not playing up to a stereotype?
Correct.
I think we're actually at the beginning of this right now. When you look at titles, even just as close as 5 years ago, I mean, you go back further and it gets even more outlandish, the numbers, but go back 3 to 5 years ago, and we were just really getting into the discussion of more female protagonists at that point. We still have that discussion now. I'm not minimizing that discussion at all, but we have it a lot less now. Now we're starting to see not only male, African American, Asian descent, various European nations represented, various cultural influences, and lifestyle influences. Not only are we starting to see them more, but they're not. We're seeing them more and more in non-stereotypical fashions, where, like you had mentioned, Gears of War. But we're just beginning to see them. So I actually think we're on the beginning of a shift towards a more diverse gaming world, if you want to say. And I think it's almost forced, which is a great thing by the diversity of players calling out for it. So as long as we continue to have the discussion like we're having right now, we'll keep moving it forward with sheer numbers. But to answer your question, we're just starting right now.
Can I make
that's my
comment?
opinion.
Okay.
Yes, Kiggles, go ahead.
I totally agree with Byrne, and he explains it so eloquently, as usual. Isn't this also have to do, and chat made this point, that it has to do with the diversity of the developers? I don't know the exact numbers, but is game development actually getting more diverse, and does that play a part in diversity, translating to diversity in the games?
Everybody's like, oh shit, I really don't want to touch this one. Sadly, I don't think the development side of things is as diverse as the audience is yet. I don't, and that's just numbers, and particularly in the United States, the numbers bear that out in almost every business, not just video game design. So I'm not pinning it on that group in particular. But diversity in the force creating is nowhere near representative of the base of the consumer for that particular product. What's causing that to balance out is more and more diverse cultures becoming interested and vocal about what they want in the product, thus forcing those companies to start making their teams more diverse. Again, I think it all starts with the consumer saying something. Then the developers make their changes. Then they're developing games that coincide with that vision. I don't think we're anywhere near where we need to be on that front, Kegel.
Well, then I have a... Sorry,
here's the other thing that I would say to counter this. I understand specifically Black and maybe even Native American, and not to, I get to the point of what you're saying to a certain extent of kind of highlighting that they're a minority, but not treating them like they're in a minority. But I'll relate this back to anime and a lot of Japanese Final Fantasy games and a bunch of others. There was I forget where I read this article there, but there was an article talking about why do Japanese people draw anime characters as Caucasian? And the article stated and talked about how the fact they're not. To the Japan's culture, they're Japanese. And I think it's to a certain extent, and again, like I said, where it's a very distinguishable difference, where you're looking at a Black character or maybe a Native American, And you could even make something Japanese, Chinese without making it racist, but that's kind of what Final Fantasy does. They're just basically designing their characters and putting them out there. We perceive them as Caucasian, or at least on this side of the world, because that's just, they're a perfect kind of neutral ground, but that doesn't make them any less of a specific race, I think is what I'm getting at that. So I think that the level of perception does play a factor. They are there, but their video games at the same time have potentially kind of found this perfect middle ground where it's ambiguous, and we maybe perceive it as being Caucasian simply because we are of a Caucasian society.
I can kind of go with you on the anime aspect of that, because you're talking about an interpretation of an interpretation, pretty much. And to a certain extent, you're talking about that in video games. But in video games, there is more of a very conscious effort to portray a character, to create a character that is obviously African American, and then create a backstory that the person creating that story perceives, whether that person's African American or not, perceives to be a substantial or a suitable character for that creation. And it happens with other races as well. I don't think it's I'm going to draw this and throw it out there. These are conscious decisions to create a gay male in a story, or a lesbian female in a story, or a black man in a story, or an Native American in a story. These are conscious decisions, and right now, they're mainly being written by people like me. White, average dude. And that doesn't work. And it's very obvious for a lot of us, as soon as we see those characters, to tell this is a facade. It's a fake character.
I think even what the caller was getting at, though, is why can't we, as a white Caucasian dude, write the story for a black guy, literally just being a white Caucasian dude, but black?
Because you don't have their life experiences, Shaftnet.
I mean, but that's the thing is we don't. They don't want. The caller was bringing up. When are we going to see us not trying to inject our own opinions of their experiences in? They want. Yeah. They want pure, like, unadulterated opinions of race in games. So then what's wrong with just writing the character as a white dude but making him black?
You're absolutely right, but the problem lies in that's not the way the characters are created or used. The character, an African-American character in most games, again, there's exceptions to these rules, they're not even rules, but in most games, there's a specific reason, plot point, story point, narrative point, whatever, for making the character African-American to begin with. There's not, in that type of situation, me as the writer, I can't adequately portray that character because I am writing that the gentleman is black for a specific reason. What we need to see first to get to what you're talking about, Shaft, where doesn't matter whether I have the life experiences or not, is me writing for a character that being African American or Asian or whatever doesn't matter. It just happens to be a person. It's not a plot device or a stereotype that's being used in the game. When I'm writing just as writing for a character, I can do what you're talking about. When I am writing for a character that is obviously black and there's a specific reason why he's black, I don't have the experiences necessary to create the illusion of reality there.
Morrison in chat brings up kind of an interesting point, though, here. He says, if you dilute racial, social, cultural differences so that they're not in any way identifiable, audiences will tune out. Do you guys think that's true?
I don't think any of us is talking about watering it down to the point that you can't obviously tell the character is a black guy or an Asian guy or whatever. I think what we're talking about is not making that a plot device, or not making that hinge.
That was kind of what I was saying, though, about making it so that it's like it doesn't matter what race he is. You create the character, and if he's black, he's black. If he's white, he's white.
And that's something that Walking Dead did fantastically. you could have subbed any character in there for Lee and had a equally fantastic story experience.
Kiggles, did you have any final thoughts?
There's a difference between diluting it and making it a generic character and making it a more fleshed out character to where race or sexuality or gender is not the defining characteristic of that particular character. It's just one feature of a character that is an important character. It's not the black guy in the horror movies that gets killed first. It's the black lead. And I just feel like it's getting better, but there's still a ways to go.
Yep, I agree. Right. We're at the beginning of this.
I think we got another caller on the line, so let's open up the lines again and get this caller's question on and going. Caller, you're on the line with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name, tell us where you're from, tell us your question.
Hey, Mike, it's Rich from Breckenridge.
How's it going, man?
All right, how are you?
Good. Good to have you back on the show.
Yeah, my friend that works at Blizzard now, Jordan Powers.
Oh, yes. And I got your tweet earlier as well, yes.
Yeah.
He went to Full Sail as well, huh?
Yep, he was the valedictorian.
Wow, game design?
Art. Obviously, he's in the prop department, so.
Gotcha. Awesome.
As for a black protagonist, Crisis.
True.
I didn't know he was black.
There you go.
Exactly. Well done.
You figured out in Crisis 2. You actually see the reverse camera. You're looking down on him in Crisis 2. You actually see the fact that I believe his name was Bishop.
Yep.
He was a black man. And you had no clue all the way up until really that there was a point at the end. I think you got an idea of it, but they really didn't give you any idea that he was black at all. He didn't play out that way. He was.
You think they were maybe trying to go for the Samus effect there, though? They're like, that we've created this metal suit kind of awesome badassery person, and we're gonna make it a girl.
Yeah,
whoa,
it's entirely possible.
Spoilers!
If you didn't know Samus was a freaking girl by this point, you had no childhood.
Next you're gonna tell me Zelda is the guy wearing green.
Kiggles, why would you tell me that? You know that's my favorite game.
Spoilers! Excuse me. I play that every single time just to hear the music and cry.
What do you got for us this week?
So this is definitely pertinent to my friend who's now working there. Blizzard saying that they want to crank out monthly content, raid content every 3 months, and an X pack every year. Because they're talking how they've increased their staff by 40% and they want to increase it by another 40%. And I know from my friend that when he got hired, that there were already like a bunch of other guys apparently in the pipe coming up behind him to get hired as well. So they're definitely not joking. Do you think they can actually pull it off? I mean, to the level that they want to. They always talk about they want a certain level of quality, a certain level of their story, the animations, everything is built to a certain tightness, and we compare other games to how WoW plays, stuff like that.
I know.
Do you think they can actually pull it off?
I know we just kind of were a little bit hard on Mr. Pandaria at the beginning of the show, but Byrne, you were the one, I think just last episode you were talking about, like we were joking about like how long ago has MOP been released? Like less than a year? Or right around a year at this point? Like right around this time last year is when Mr. Pandaria launched?
September, yeah.
Yeah, that was wow. Almost exactly now.
So can they do it? Maybe not right away, but they sure as hell are getting close. You don't think they can do it? Or is that you shaking your head?
No.
No, Mr. Superman. No, I'm Mr.
Expansion Pack. No, here. No, it's a nice goal. It's a nice, ambitious thing, and players would love it if they can. Hell, I'd love it. But no, we've been down this road before. They did their hiring. We've been fooled by this before, as far as an increased content rate, and then it increased and then kind of went back to normal. yes, they are hiring a lot of people, but keep in mind they also have other products on their slate right now that they're looking at finishing and just restarting. So there's no guarantee that all of those new assets are going to the same place anyway. No.
When's Titan supposed to be out again?
15,
7 years ago?
16?
No, I don't think so. Not to the quality that they want. And I was harsh on them, but I will say when they release something, it's released. And they've gotten to the point where, like this patch, I will say it was laggy in Timeless Isles on Melgandus for me, but that's just the amount of people. It worked flawlessly. Whereas, where some games, Final Fantasy 14, there were little kinks that needed to be worked out there, which is fine
just sucker
because
punched you just right into the screen.
But that was I mean, but it's new-ish, and they don't know how to do that. Whereas Blizzard is old hat at this. But no, I don't think a year for every expansion. They're wanting to kill their workers?
Here's not even necessarily kill the workers.
You know the best part of that, though, Chef, before you give your answer, is Kiggles was like, here is every reason why Burn is wrong. But, Burn, you're right.
I mean, when I agree with you, I still have to disagree with you. We gotta get some...
Hey, I'm all for it, brother.
This up here.
So, here's the thing from a player standpoint. Everybody here has played WoW at some point or another, right?
Me
Yes,
never.
I think we've decided that. Honestly, I almost feel like a little angry that we're already at the end of the expansion only a year after. And maybe that's just because we've been trained from previous expansions, but I'm not like I really don't want another one. No, maybe, and here's the other thing. Here is the problem. I'm not consuming the content at the rate that I used to. So that's maybe why I'm not ready for one. If I was rating my typical schedule back when I was in college, 3 nights a week and doing heroics and logging on and doing PvP, when I was playing it at my prime, yes, I could probably see why people are done and ready. But I don't know. Like,
yeah. Back in my good old days of MMO and video gaming.
Oh, those 2D scrollers. Those 8-bit characters were
I'm just trying to say that, like, where I'm at now, I even try and put myself back then. I don't think that I would be happy with a new expansion coming out every year, because here's the thing. I always justified the expansion purchase, because it only happened every other year. On top, because when you're buying an expansion every year on top of paying a monthly sub, it gets a little bit unjustified. Like, I used to be able to justify because they're like, okay, $40, that's spread out over the next 3 years. That's not really that expensive. And the $15 a month is great. But, like, I don't know, like, I feel like it might start to feel like it's piling up at this point now.
Back in my day, you didn't get them out till level 40.
You're wrong.
You farmed the gold for it for months.
All right. I guess.
Do you not remember back in, I don't know, when they released a whole nother tier of raid because people were bitching that there wasn't a new expansion, or the 7 years?
But that's because they weren't ready for it. People cleared. I'm pretty sure people cleared back a Black Temple before their expectations were for it, and that's why they released Sunwell, because they weren't ready for it. I mean, here's the thing. I think it's always better to keep the demand up, or the supply always above the demand. So yes, it's good for them to strive to have these goals, to want to try and do it every year. But I just don't think that's, I don't know. Right
now, Blizzard Watch was like, guys, we can slow down. Shaftnet doesn't want this yet. Slow down, guys.
Oh, all right, good. It is. It's true. Because I'm the only person on the internet that actually matters. So
exactly.
All right, let's open up the lines and keep the show rolling. Caller, you're on the Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from. Tell us your question.
Hey guys, this is Robert from Utah. It's RS Miss School in chat. So yeah, I've called before, but anyways, my question is, So, and this is probably pretty self-explanatory, but I'm just stupid, I guess. But I've been playing a warrior forever, and I've always just been prot pretty much. And I have no idea how to play like arms or fury, and I'm trying to switch over so I can actually do like, you know, dailies and stuff like that. But I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Like it's kind of a little difficult. And this goes not even just for my warrior, but also I have like a priest as well and a hunter, and I'm really just trying to figure out like what's the best way. If you're, especially if you're already this far along in an expansion, like to really go and like completely switch out a spec and just pull some new spec out of thin air, like get new gear, learn all the new spells, everything. It just seems like a lot of work.
So how up to date are you on all of the information that's coming out in patch 5.4?
Somewhat. I've read the patch notes. I'm not really great at remembering a whole bunch of stuff, but I do my best. You should
go check out my awesome new waypoint that talks about all of the 5.4 stuff. Oh, damn it. Okay, well that didn't help you then. Fuck. So then here's what I'll say though. Shut up, Burn.
I keep up on your stuff just for the record.
I have super awesome content that you really need to go take a look at. I think it'll help you. Didn't help me. Well,
look at my stuff.
Okay, so I'll go and I wanted to keep Waypoint. Here's my excuse. I wanted to keep Waypoint very, you know, like basic. Now I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty here on After Dark. That's the way it was designed, so that you can call in and ask your questions in detail about it right here.
Can we read your waypoints on audiobook now or watch them on Netflix?
We'll work on that. We'll work on getting them on there. So real quick though, new ways to learn new specs. I think obviously the big thing that Blizzard just introduced is Proving Grounds. That allows you to work on different tiers of different difficulties to learn new rotations and really kind of go at your own pace. That's more than just targeting a target dummy, because while that measures how high of DPS you can do, it doesn't really, you know, teach you how to play the spec properly in a scenario like that. So I think Proving Grounds are a great place to start once you have an idea and have a character and have the gear. The really cool thing that's going on in 5.4 is that all across the Timeless Isles, when you're collecting all of these treasure chests and doing all of the new events, you actually get bind on account gear that's leather, cloth, mail, or plate that you can send to anyone, and when you right-click it, it turns into a piece of gear for that spec at eye level 496, I believe. And then if you get an additional item that you find around the isle, that's very rare to find, so you probably only want to do this on your main character, but if you get an even more rare item, you can turn those 496 bind on account items into, I think, like a 520-ish piece of gear. And that's a system that they kind of implemented specifically for that problem, because a lot of people were saying that Mists of Pandaria is unfriendly for alts, and gearing them up is so difficult. Now Blizzard has kind of integrated a way that I could literally, you know, I've actually got a mage that I've never touched past getting to 90, and I never did anything with, but now I'm kind of just like, oh, hey, I can instantly give all of this gear to my mage, and now my mage is at 496 like that, just for doing stuff on my druid who I was wanting to play in the first place. So that's in place there. I think that's the best place to get gear.
The Proving Grounds is really realistic though for training, for real training purposes, because I mean, I get the idea of like, you know, basic stuff, but like, so sure, I'm just gonna throw all this gear at my character in a spec that I've never played before, and then what? I'm supposed to run into an LFR, and I mean, I'm personally probably one of those rare people that actually likes to feel like I'm doing something productive in an LFR.
Go back to LFR. Don't do anything.
Who does productive things in LFR? Get out of here with your baloney.
Stand in the green.
It's I have not done Proving Grounds myself yet, so I can't say if I truly feel like they do anything, but from the videos that I've watched, I really think they do it. Like, they do a good job of because the way to learn to play a class is to stress yourself. I feel like I always got very good at PvP because I always looked for the people that could kill me in PvP and played against them specifically so that I could try and see what they were doing and learn how to get better. You need to fail to get better. You need to learn the nuances of the class that you're trying to beat and lose in order to get better. That, I think, is hopefully what Proving Grounds incremental difficulty is going to do. Because if you're able to grab all the gear and simply just jump into Proving Grounds and clear gold all the way without trying at all, then I don't think they really tuned Proving Grounds the way that they were designed to be. Hopefully, when you jump into that kind of scenario in Proving Grounds, you only make it to maybe, say, mid-silver. I'm assuming bronze is like you don't know anything about the game. You don't even know how to press heal, and you're supposed to be healing, and that's what it takes to get through bronze. But, you know, if you think about the challenge, right, it's like, okay, silver would be like you have to understand the rotation to get through. And then gold is you have to be good at the rotation to get through. And as long as that scaling increment is there, I think that there's a chance that it really could teach you about new classes. Because as long as you lose, as long as you try and keep going back and getting better, I think that you will.
Okay. Oh, one quick thing I wanted to say. I do completely disagree with Kiggles on the whole Garrosh thing. I love that we're fighting Garrosh. I think it's awesome. Screw random Yogg-Saron or whatever. I want Garrosh. I mean, he's been this douche the entire expansion, and I wanted to kick his butt. So...
And I think that I watched a video that talked about all of the lore around Garrosh, and it's interesting. As Alliance, I didn't get to see any of it, but Garrosh is one of those figureheads that has been building up to become this Deathwing or this Arthas. It just hasn't been at the forefront like all of the others have.
Yeah. Can I also say this too, and this will be my last little comment? I hate that Blizzard has basically based their entire audiobook segments about all Alliance stuff, and this is like the Vol'jin book is the first real Horde book that we're getting here. It pisses me off. It's like, why do we not have any audiobooks on the Horde?
Come on.
None.
Really?
Until
you only
now,
get all the story in the game.
Thank you for the
and they need to make more audiobooks too. And they also need to make the audiobooks with a specific like set of people that read the audiobooks all the time, because when you come in one audiobook and someone sounds this way, and then you come into another audiobook and the same character sounds completely different, it's kind of hard. It throws you off. It's kind of weird. But I love Audible. I love all the books. So yeah, forget that.
I have a comment on I actually learned a new class and spec. But I mean, it was still healing.
That you put
I went
something
from
in here because I have no clue what the hell Shafnet was talking about.
Burns like, what?
I'm like, Kegel, school me here so that when I come back to WoW, I can make some sense. I don't know what the hell this was all about.
So, I recently changed at the beginning of the expansion from a Resto Shaman, which I had played shaman, which I had played from BC up until the end of Cataclysm. Oh my god, brain fart. And I changed to a Disc Priest because, one, they were overpowered, and two, I wanted something different. Now, what I did is, it's basically just researching your class, and it's going to take time when you're going to feel uncomfortable because you don't know it. But you just have to throw your feet in the fire. And LFR is actually a good place to start that because, one, there's not much pressure on you. And it's always the tank's fault. But there's not very much pressure on you, and everything's easier. And the other thing is you have to know the specific fights. Because for a Disc Priest, you have to know when to use your cooldowns, when you can get away with DPSing, all of your spells and whatnot, and your accoutrement, as they say, and what to use when. And that goes the same for DPS or tank. So it takes time. You just have to, like Shafnet said, you have to.
And that's what's nice about the Proving Grounds is it takes time, but it only takes your time. Before it was always difficult because you always felt bad, like you were letting the whole group down while you were trying to learn. Now they've segregated it into your own individual learning area.
I have tried and true method for relearning a class in any MMO. Any MMO. If you want to respec, I'm going to school you. I'm going to school you a little bit here. Here's what you do. You're playing prot. You want to play something else. You're scared. You don't have the gear. You don't know the rotations. For some unknown reason, you don't know where to look for those items to at least get started.
I want to be the very best.
Here we go. Here we go. What you do is you stop playing that game for about a month and a half. About a month and a half. You just don't play. You go play another MMO. There's only hundreds of them now. And you learn something new in that MMO. Then you come back and you reset all of your add-ons and everything. Then you don't even know how to play the game anymore, let alone a spec. And you're in good shape to start learning a new spec. Tried and true, works every time.
So you're more the brain wipe version of relearning.
Absolutely.
But what happens when your guild needs you to go back to the old spec because they needed a DPS instead of a healer?
Well then,
I'll see you in a month and a half, brothers. Love you all. See you soon.
All right, let's move on to our last caller. But before I do, I want to tell you guys about our last sponsor here on Gamebreaker. A great sponsor to have when you're a part of the creative industry, Shutterstock.com. It's with over 20 million high-quality stock photos, illustrations, vectors, and video clips. It's like I've said that hundreds of times. It's an amazing service.
Yeah.
It's an amazing service. And if you're ever looking for images of, say, like a fork or like a garbage disposal, it's super easy to use. All you guys got to do is use the search field and type in garbage disposal and click search. Super simple. They've even got footage. They've even got raw footage, stock footage. Oh, that's Fantasy Dungeon. I was like, these are not garbage disposals. Where you can get animation elements. So I think I looked up Whirlwind. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure this is what I looked up. I can't find it. Oh no, it was Vortex. I looked up Vortex. So if you want to say look up Vortex, they've even got, this was a tornado here. Oh, here we go. Tornado alert. This is the one I found. Like, they've got these awesome things. Like, I know that people don't necessarily run their own news station, but having a graphic like that, I can tell you right now, as someone who's messed around in After Effects for a very long time, creating this from scratch would be a nightmare. With how many elements are going on right here, the amount of time that it would take.
Just get a bottle and some water. Come on now.
is ridiculous, and it's super simple. All you would need to get this graphic is to head on over to Shutterstock.com. And even if you head on over right now, if you use the offer code Gamebreaker9, you guys will get 25% off your new account. So head on over now, use offer code Gamebreaker9, and get your show on YouTube started. All right, let's take it up to the...
Wait,
what's that?
Wait, before we do that, I have a gripe with that, by the way. That forecast, Jana, is wrong, okay? Because she says there's about to, like, storms roll in, high pressure. Okay, anyone like me that was a weather nerd and watched the Weather Channel relentlessly over the summer, because I love hurricanes, knows that low pressure is when storms come in, and high pressure is for clear weather, okay? So let's learn our meteorological terms there, Riot. Thank you.
I wanna just turn back and bark at you about how high pressure obviously means pressure on the map, but you have a scientific point and you're just gonna keep fighting me on the science of it, so I'm not even gonna bother fighting you.
You are just like all about the good advice tonight, Shaftnet. You want to learn how to play a new class or a new spec? Stress the shit out of yourself. That's the only way to do it. Sit back after that rough 14-hour shift that you are just angry and you want to kill your boss and get stressed out over something.
Well, he is angry Mike Shaftnet.
It's true. It's the best way to learn. Stress yourself. Always have blood pressure of 9,000. All right. Caller on Live with Gamebreaker After Dark. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're from. Tell us your question.
It's Zista, but Kiggles, you're yesing too hard. You'll yes yourself to death.
Kiggles, don't yes yourself to death.
Oh my God, what is going on tonight? I'm in the middle of streaming Kingdom Hearts, and I had to stop streaming to focus on this mayhem.
Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat?
Oh, God.
Wouldn't you think my collections come? Oh, I'm not gonna start. Okay, bye.
You want thingamabobs? I got.
Where's
20.
my lighter?
How's that live stream going? If I was to go over to your stream right now, would you be on the stream chatting?
Yeah. Yep.
TV
There's a scrolling text right now that says I'm watching After Dark, and I'll finish when it's over.
We only have like 4 audio delays going through this call, so let's go ahead and put some echoes in here as well.
It's not that big of a deal. It's
Pull
not
up
that big
his
of a deal.
stream.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Now it's like we're hanging out with Zista.
Thanks again, Shaftner, for coming on our podcast this weekend. That was
man.
a nice surprise.
No
I don't know. I prefer
problem.
Ashley.
Ashley was.
Even though you got my podcast on there, or my stream on there. That's funny.
What do you got for us, Zista? What's your question?
Delay. Yeah, Ashley's not going to spill anything on this episode of After Dark. Right?
Hopefully not, because I had to clean that up almost immediately after. But I was a pro and sat in my seat until the show was over, and then
I was surprised that drink was just going everywhere, and you just stayed there and finished the show out like a champion.
Professionalism,
He is a
my
pro.
friend.
He is a pro.
He is.
What's your question?
So, both Sony and Xbox, they're both releasing their consoles in North America in November.
Mhm.
But they're not releasing their consoles in Japan until next year. It's completely reversed from what they normally do. Why the sudden reversal?
Because we were mad that they got Kingdom Hearts first.
Oh.
That's absurd.
Well, I'm out of this one because I haven't bought or played anything on a console since PlayStation 2 because consoles are stupid.
So Kiggles is
all right,
out.
I'll take a stab. I can take a stab here. I'm a bit of a console gamer. Too many of them, in fact. So first off, Xbox One, there's no real incentive to get into Japan fast. With the stellar performance of Xbox and Xbox 360 in the country, it's not a huge incentive to get into that market on launch day. So if you're worried about supply and demand for launch day, you cater to where your market is, and for the Xbox, that isn't Japan. So I think that one is pretty easy. The one that surprised me quite a bit was Sony, right? Being there, having a pretty dominant market share, not getting the system until February, when we're getting it in November. Now, the public reason that I've seen in chat, you can correct me if there's something else out there, but the only public reason I've seen is that the demand for it was higher, more than they anticipated, and there's not going to be enough supply. That's fine, publicly. Privately, I think it's also the same type of thing where you have more consumers in EU and United States that want the product and are going to buy the product on launch day, that if you have a supply problem, cater to the bigger majority of your market, which isn't Japan, even though Sony has a better stake there than Xbox. So Xbox doesn't have a vested interest. Sony does and have an interest in getting there as fast as possible, but if they're truly worried about supply and demand, it makes sense that you would cater to EU and North America first. That's just my opinion, though.
Isn't it also though that that haven't they moved everything over to North America? I mean, it used to be where we would get, this is back in Super Nintendo in my heyday. Hey, Final Fantasy 4 and 6. That it used to be Japanese. It used to be Japanese ports because Sony is a Japanese company and Nintendo.
Right.
Am I wrong in thinking that it's all made? It's not really Japanese ports anymore. It's more the opposite way now.
I think I would agree with that. Yeah, it's definitely swung to the West a little bit here. I don't think it's. The West isn't pitching a shutout on this one. It's still a close game, but the West has the upper hand on it. I just look back at what happened with Microsoft getting in there, and there's no incentive. And if I'm Sony, I look at it as, well, I already know I got Japan locked up. Microsoft sucks here, and therefore isn't going to push here. I already got this locked up. I'm worried about units. Let's cater to the audience first.
Not only that, but Sony's even releasing their console before the Xbox in North America.
Yep.
I was actually really surprised on that one myself because Xbox had the advantage of not releasing a release date. They had no clue. You didn't know when the system was going to come out. I thought it was going to be ahead of PlayStation just because of how far behind they've kind of been in the ratings poll. I figured they'd try to get their foot in the door and get out first, but then they announced it a week and a half later, or 2 weeks later, or whatever it is. I was shocked.
Oh, and by the way, it's $100 cheaper. You know, it's just all stacked in Sony's favor. They don't need to rush into a Japanese market that isn't their majority stakeholder. But I think we're missing the real important part here. And when you first got on the line, and Kiggle sang, that to me is what this question is all about. So I'm wondering if we could get a little more of that before the show ends. Just as a fan myself, that's all I'm asking.
A whole new world.
Oh my gosh!
Now we're getting the calls. Zix, yeah, that's right. Duet. Go ahead, you two. Go ahead.
Yeah, you guys want to rock out some Aladdin?
Don't you dare close your eyes.
Oh my God, do it.
Who's starting it
Nichols,
off?
this is you. You go ahead. Which one of you is Jasmine?
I think that's rather obvious.
I think I would be Jasmine, of course, because I am the star. Thank you.
And that's as many notes as we can legally play. So you'll have to sing the rest a cappella.
It's only my left ear. It's kind of weird.
I can open you.
Wait, hang on. I can't do that. I just forgot. Copyright. Hang on. Wait. Everybody stop.
Am I gonna have to pull this up on my own and sing it? Oh my God, it's gonna sound so terrible.
We're gonna end it there. Zista will keep you actually on the line. There's someone who's been trying to push a Twitter question through all show, and I just now saw it. So I'm gonna we'll all kind of collectively take an answer at this before wrapping up the show. So let's see where to go. Right here, Max Comer, I believe, wanted to know, what do you guys think of the odds of Blizz will follow through and we'll actually see a video trailer for Titan at BlizzCon? Chances. I think there was a high chance. A lot of people were expecting it up until they pulled back the curtain and said, we're scrapping everything. I'd say it's about a 20% chance. And that's even being generous. You guys have any?
Blizzard hasn't even officially announced Titan at all yet. They haven't really acknowledged publicly that they are, in fact, coming out with it. This is something that we saw on their timetable release on that spreadsheet, and it's kind of been hearsay. And the rumors of Titan is being pushed back, it's being reworked from scratch. Blizzard has never actually stated anything one way or the other on it. This is all complete speculation. So
we've ended the show.
I don't think we're going to see a video.
The best way to do it. I don't think we're going to see a
video at BlizzCon of any footage or anything, but I would expect some kind of teaser trailer. Something kind of like what they did with the Warcraft movie at Comic-Con. I expect some kind of teaser for Titan.
Yeah, wouldn't it be more prudent for them to just do a video of, I don't know, the next expansion, which they're going to announce probably at BlizzCon? Or, I mean, it depends on how many people get to Garrosh, because apparently we know everything when Garrosh is killed, and the cutscene explains everything, like manna from heaven.
You shut up.
I told you, it's Severus Snape. He killed Dumbledore, and now he is the war chief.
This, I think, is going to be the biggest BlizzCon. I think we're going to get news from Warcraft. We're going to get more Diablo 3 news. We're going to get some kind of StarCraft 2 news, Titan news, probably some more Hearthstone news, and I would be shocked if we didn't hear something from Blizzard All-Stars. So I think Blizzard is just going to throw all their cards on the table and throw it all out there.
We'll have to wait and see. It's only 2 months away, and it's super, super exciting.
The Titan movie.
Burn's gonna say 0. I'm a lot more with Burn. I think there's a very, 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 very small chance we'll see it, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, why would they do it? They're just gonna make everyone mad that it's not coming out, and they have what, 2 more, 3 more expansions of WoW?
Yeah, it's
not
pretty,
gonna compete with WoW.
Pretty long gamble. All right, Zista, Kiggles, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. We really, really appreciate it. And
thank you for having me.
Every caller for calling in. We really appreciate all your questions. The show couldn't be done without you. Mr. Mike Byrne, you can follow him right down there at MagicMan1 with 2 N's. Catch him over on XIV.
Make sure you call in. You never know when you'll end up as a host.
That's
true,
right.
It's true.
A whole new world.
Oh God.
And you guys can follow me right down here at Mike Schaffnitz. Be sure to catch After Dark live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. PDT, where you guys call in and make the show happen live. Because look at this, you never know what's going to happen. As well as check out Waypoint, both Final Fantasy and League of Legends editions. They go live every Tuesday and Thursday, and catch me on Legendary as well. Follow us over at Gamebreaker.
Shimmering splendid.
I guess this is what I get for not having music playing
Mike
underneath.
Schaffnit, now when did you last let your heart decide?
I can open your eyes. All right, I'm done. Thanks for calling, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Dance! Keep going! It's working!